Okay, we're back. So I've got 6 inches of netting here. It's for my bracelet, and I've taken the ends and I've snaked around. Let me hold this up for a second. I've sort of snaked around the tails, around and around, go around, go across, follow some thread paths. I wouldn't tie knots unless you want to tie one, let's say, in between these beads, the netting beads, because the crossover beads we're going to go through. So you don't want them clogged up with knots. So do that with your tails, and either pull them through the back or snip them off. If you maybe you can wait till later and you can tie them in the back of the project. So what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some crystals. It's about time. We want to get those crystals in there. Now, if you notice on this bracelet, the one I made, I have sort of an uneven bit around the end, as opposed to the, I'll show you this, the 5 bead netting that's sort of straight across, and then you can just put your clasp on there or a loop. But we've done it so we have a little extra, we had some extra beads in the top and the bottom. So I love this. I think it's cool. It gives it sort of a more casual feel. You see the seed beads around the crystals. It's got a more casual clasp. It's just a toggle and a loop. You can make it in, you can make this in any stone, any 4mm stone, like a turquoise stone or a jade or a aventurine or whatever, anything, pearls. I've got some pearls that I want to make one with, and and use any 15-0 here. I'm going to make it just this way because that's how it was requested by a viewer. So what we want to do is you want to get some 15-0 seed beads, and these are Miyuki 15-0 dark metallic gold. You can, whatever color you have, use those, and these are fire polish, 4mm fire polish dark bronze. And what we're going to do is we're going to just start adding some crystals. So orient your piece this way. Okay, so you've got this way. Okay, so you can come up. I want to start with the end. I mean, a lot of people start here and they start snaking around. I'm going to start with the end and see what happens. So come up on the end piece here. Come up one of those A beads, the shiny 11-0s. Just pull your needle through it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to add a crystal right here. So for it to fit, you want to put a 15-0, a 4mm crystal, stone, bicone, anything. Just it depends on whatever you like. And then you're going to take your needle. I've got a long tail on this, and you're going to go up the next 11-0 shiny bead that you have on your netting. Hold your piece and pull. Okay, leave a little tail, and there you got it. Or there you have it. You've got your first crystal on your netting. Okay, so there it is. It's your first crystal. Just think, how exciting, isn't that exciting? Okay, so then so the next crystal is going to go above it, right here in this hole, in this opening. So take a 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0, and go up the next 11-0 in your netting and pull. Hold your thumb on it. Always, it just makes it easier to hold your thumb on it and just pull. That should go. That should fit right into place. I'll pull your tail out. I almost did. So there's your second bead. Okay. Oh, we're going to tighten it all up. You don't want it too tight because you want them to fit in there nicely. Okay, so take a 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0. And here's where you're going to change things up a little bit. So what we're going to do here is, you see how the thread comes right next to that top, I want this to clear up a little bit, that top 11-0, see that? I want you to go through the 11-0. I need to get my glasses on for this. Through the 11-0, down the side of that diamond, and out the 11-0 here. Okay, so do you see that? So you're going through the top of the diamond, and you're going down the side of the diamond and out the corner, you know, one of the sides of the corners where only the shiny bead you're going to come out of. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to just take that crystal, and isn't it funny how it pops it into the row before? See how it popped it right into there? There you go. Popped it in. So you've got your first 3 crystals on. Now you're going to take a 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0, and you're going to go down. Okay, so you're going to go down your next 11-0 and pull. Just pull lightly, and see how it pops into place? Isn't that cool? Just pops right there. Okay. So you've got your tail. Make sure you have a little bit of a tail there so we can sew that in, and we'll sew around the beads a little bit. Take another 15-0, another 4mm, and a 15-0, and you're going to go down the next 11-0. Come out of the 11-0 and pull. Okay? So you've got, let me see if I can put it down and you'll see it better. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. There you go. So do you see how you have 3 crystals on here? You've got 2 here. Now you've got to put your 3rd one on. So take a 15-0 in this row, a 4mm and a 15-0, and I want you to see this bead? Instead of going down through it, I want you to come up through it this way. It's facing in that direction. Go in it the direction it's facing. See, it's facing this way. The others are facing up. See how this is going up? This is going this way. So go in that way. Now that's an easy way of doing it. Go up the 2 and out the side of that diamond. Pull, and it's going to pop the crystal right into place and give us our 2nd row. Start of our 2nd row. Isn't that amazing? I love that it does that. I think that's so cool. Alright, so there you go. And then the easy part. 15-0, 4mm, 15-0. We're going to go up the next shiny 11-0 in our netting and pull that into place. Okay? So you want to, you know, as you're doing it, you want to just press it a little with your fingers just to make sure it's not curling too much, or, you know, your tension is good. Let's do that again. 15-0, 4mm, 15-0. Go up the next one. So the 2, you know, the 2 that you're doing in between the turns are really easy. And the turn is easy too. You just have to remember, you just put the same thing on your needle. A 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0. Okay, and so here, see how your thread is going to come there? I want it to clear up. Oh, come on, clear up. Thank you. And how this bead is going horizontally. Go through that bead to get a little closer to get my needle in, and down the side of that diamond, okay, and pull. Watch it pop right. Watch that pop right into place. Boop. Goes right into place, and it starts you on the next row. Okay, let's do it again. 15-0, 4mm, 15-0. Go down. See how you're coming out of here? You're going to go down the next 11-0 underneath there. Puts that crystal into place. Okay, do it again. 15-0, 4mm, and a 15-0. So we're coming out of that 15-0. Going to go down the next. So you're just doing it by row. Okay, so we've gone there. We look good. So now we're at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to take a 15-0, 4mm, a 15-0, and here at the bottom, remember that the crossover bead is horizontal. So you're going to go up that crossover bead and come out the next crossover bead. So you're going up the side of that diamond, and hold your needle and pull, and that's just going to pop. I'm going to do it slowly over here. Watch how it pops that crystal whoop, right into place. See that? And it has you started on your next row. You're already coming out of the bead of your next row, the crossover bead. Okay. So there you have it. Okay. Let's do it one more time. A 15-0, 4mm, 15-0, go up the next 15-0, 11-0, put that into place, 15-0, 4mm, 15-0, pull that into place. Okay, get that into place. Okay, now we're at the turn again. We're at the top. We're taking the same beads, the 15-0, the 4mm, and the 15-0, and we're going to enter the top shiny bead. See, it's going horizontally, and go down to the next shiny bead. So you see how that's going through the side of that diamond. Pull, and here we'll do it slow, and we'll watch it pop into place. Pop. That goes right into place. So there, and then it starts you on your next row. Let that clear up a little bit. See if I can get just a little bit more light over here. I know it's hard to see with these beads, and I thought of using some really light colored beads, and you know, so you see the contrast better. I can redo it, but I wanted it to look like the bracelet that I had already done, because that's what was requested. And sometimes when you're doing a demonstration and you use completely different beads, it doesn't look the same. Okay, so I've taken a 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0, and I've gone down my next, from my shiny 11-0 to my next shiny crossover bead. I'll do that again. So that's why I wanted to do it, you know, exactly like the other one. I want you to see that it can come out exactly like that. So I'm coming out of here. This shiny bead, just going to go down to the next crossover bead. Okay, we're coming to our turn. We're going to put the same beads on the needle. 15-0, a 4mm, and a 15-0. And then you see the shiny horizontal bead here. We're going to go through that bead and up through the next two matte beads and up the next shiny bead. See? That's going to get us, it's going to pop that bead into place, and it's going to get us started on our next row. So watch, pop, right into place. And here we are. See how our thread is coming out of the next bead for the next row. So just keep at it. 15-0, 4mm, 15-0, go up, keep going. It, you know, after you get the turns, which it may seem a little confusing at first, but once you get it, you'll say, ah, I get that. I see exactly where that's going. You'll be doing it, you know, you'll just be putting them on much more quickly. Just pay attention to the top. I mean, I just like watching it pop into place. See, we'll do it one more time. So we've got a 15-0, a 4mm, and a 11-0 that's snuck in my 15-0s. Okay, so here's this horizontal bead over here, the one at the top. Go through, go down the two. It's going horizontal, go down. Just turn your needle this way, go down, come out of that next. It's like you're going down one part of the diamond, one side of it. Okay, pull that through. Watch it pop into place. Pop. And your thread is ready for your next crystal. Okay, so that's it. I mean, it's you know, that's the whole thing. So keep going till you get to the end, and once you get to the end, we'll do this little kind of fun ending here. It's a little, you know, this is a little bit more complicated, but I think you can do it. I had to look back at my, at my patterns to find it, and I couldn't find it. So what I did was I just made a couple of, sample pieces, and I kept trying it until I got it, and it actually came out okay. So I think we can do this. We'll be doing it together, and I think then we'll make the toggle, and you'll have a beautiful bracelet. Okay, so continue on with the crystals, putting them on, and I'll meet you back here in a little bit. Okay, we're back. Now, a couple of things happened while I was finishing this, the crystal part of the bracelet. So here's the original. There's the clasp. There's the loop. So I get to the end. Here's the one that I was making. So here's the end that the toggle's going to go on. And I made a video, and I made the clasp, the loop. And then when I went to review the video, it's so dark that you cannot see a thing that I did here. I mean, it was ridiculous. So what I did was, because I did get this on, but I just don't think it's going to be clear enough. I made a small piece here to where you would be ending, and I'm going to, let me just back out a little bit, because I just wanted to make sure I was doing this right. Okay, so I'm going to get to the part that you would be at when you finish the copper one, because as I said, you really can't see it. So I'm just pulling out a little bit. I meant to pull this out before, because I want you to see where you're, the last bead going on, and where it's going. Okay, so there's the last bead that I'm going to put on, and you should be in this same place. Okay, so I have my 11-0, my 15-0, my 4mm, and my 15-0, and I'm going to, just like I did before, I'm going to go horizontally across this bead, the shiny bead. Hold on, let me get it clear. The shiny bead, the matte bead, the two matte beads, and the shiny bead. So this is just like we've been doing, only it's just the end piece. Okay. It was so unclear. There was no way I could post it, and there was no way I could get it clear. I even changed the color, my matte, and it didn't help. Okay, so at this point, where all our crystals are on, and you're coming out of the shiny crystal. Okay, let me hold it this way. At the end here. So here's the diamond shape, and you're coming out of this shiny crystal. I want you to take a 15-0, a crystal on a 15-0, and go up through the next sticking out shiny bead. This is where we're going to put those two beads in. These two right here. Remember the ones that go in between the loop? Okay. And then I want you to take another 15-0, a crystal on a 15-0, And I switched it. I added an extra 15-0. I think it's going to work out better. So just follow this. So we put the 15-0, the 4mm, and the 15-0. We're coming up through the next, sticking out 11-0, the shiny one. Okay. So now you have your two beads on, which are the two in the center. See how it's so hard to see the dark crystals? I so apologize for that. I wanted to just show you something that was exactly like the one we made. And it is exactly like it. It's just that in order for you to do it, I think you might need this. Okay. So here we are. We're coming out of the center 11-0. Now I want you to, and hopefully I can get this clear, I want you to go through the two 11-0s on the side. Let's just do this a step at a time so it's easy. Okay? And then I want you to go through the shiny 11-0. Let's see if we can get through that guy. Yes. And the two 11-0s. Let's go through the shiny 11-0. Yes, and the two 11-0s going up. So we're going back a bit to reinforce the end here. So now you're coming out of this group. Here, I want you to come through the shiny one as well. Okay. It's a little confusing, but you'll get it. So you're coming out of here. So we've put these two crystals on here. We've gone up, around, and we're coming out back. Actually, just back 2 rows because we just added these as design. And then we're going to reinforce a little bit. So let me get my glasses. We're going to go down the 15-0. It's like we're going down again without any beads. So go down the 15-0, the crystal and the 15-0, pull. And then I want you to go down, dig in there, and find that 11-0 that's in between the 15-0. See, it's much better this way. Go up that and up the next 15-0. So you're just retracing through, and then your steps here. And then you're going through the crystal and the 15-0. And then you know you have an 11-0, which is attached to the netting between the 15-0 and the next crystal. Go through that. Just take your time, dig in there and find it. Go through the crystal. So now you're at the bottom. Turn it a little bit. Make sure you get through that little 15-0 at the end. You see this one at the end? Make sure you get through that one. Okay. Now we're going to do a little tracing around to get up to the front. Go through your little group here. I'm going to go back up. So we're reinforcing the last few rows. Go back up those three beads again in between the crystals. Okay. Go through the 4mm, the 3 beads, the 15-0, the 11-0 that's attached to the netting, and the 15-0, and if you can, the crystal, or do one at a time if you have to. It might have been better if I used matte beads between these two, but I think that when you're doing it, you're going to see, and I go through that 15-0 at the top, you're going to see it better than on your actual piece than on the camera. This is just a little tough on the camera. Okay, we're going to go down. So here we are. We're going to go down the shiny 11-0. So we're going down the side, come out the other end. We're going through the side of the diamond. So we're just snaking around. We're going to go. So we're snaking on 3 rows here. I'm going to go back down this row. So the crystal, the 15-0, the 11-0 that's attached to the netting. Go through. You're almost there. Got myself a little knot here. Okay, got it out. Just do this part slowly. Go through the 15-0, the crystal, the 11-0, the 15-0, the crystal. If you can get it all in one swoop, good. If not, just do each bead at a time. Don't forget to go to the 15-0 at the bottom. Okay, now we're getting there. Okay, and then we're going to go through that 11-0 on the bottom. So we're going around now. And we're going to come out in between let me just make sure that's on my project, in between the matte 15-0 and actually I think I'm going to go up to one more and come out the 15-0. Now on the original bracelet, I didn't add that second little 15-0. And I thought there was a space. So let's see how this works out. If it doesn't work out, before you go around, take it off and just do it without it. Okay, so now I'm going to take some 15-0s, about, I'd say 26, 27, 28. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I know it's boring listening to me count. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Oh no, 27. Just to be, just because. And let's see, when I wrap that around, it's going to take me to about like so. And here's my toggle. So you're going to fit through. I think my toggle's going to fit through. Maybe I'll pop one more on. Let's do 28. Whoops, I forgot those. Actually, I think that's fine. I think 27 is good. All right. So I've got 27. I think maybe it would be a good idea to start, instead of counting beads, maybe start measuring how long it is, because you may use a different bead, or your beads may be bigger or smaller. So that's a possibility. So in the future, maybe, measure, put on a bunch of beads, measure it, and see if it goes around your toggle. Okay, so we've got our 27 beads on, and what we're going to do is we're going to, glasses for this, I want to make sure you see this, we're going to go over everything, the two beads, and come out, let me make sure I'm doing that right, come out right after, just take your needle and insert it into the beads that are right after, which are two, there's a 15-0, there's a 11-0, and two 11-0 matte beads, and pull. Let's see if that came out, how that came out. Okay, so see, it's got that wonky looking clasp, which I happen to like. So then we're going to go down through the 15-0. Going down, we're going to reinforce again because we want to go around and reinforce this clasp. So go back down, sorry about that, the row before, one more time. So we're just going over what we've done before. I'm sorry, I keep getting out of frame. I'm trying so hard to stay in and see this. Okay, so you're coming out the bottom again. All right, go up the side as we've been doing, come out between the 15-0, the 11-0 and the 15-0. Okay, because you're just going to head right back up the clasp and then reinforce your clasp. So go up, don't miss any beads, these are tiny little beads, but I love 15-0s because, especially when they're in a metallic, because they could look a little bit like chain. And they, so when you reinforce it and everybody's sitting up next to each other like little soldiers, it looks like it can look like a chain, and I like that. In some pieces, I happen to like that in this piece. Okay, so keep going. I'm sorry about my big thumb there. Keep going up, or keep going through your loop. I'm having a little bit of issue because of my drawer camera. If you've seen my videos before, you know I have a camera in my drawer, and I work from my drawer. Okay, so we've got that. Go through the two, the last 15-0 and the 11-0 that's on there. Okay, and let's see. Let's go back up through these two, the two next beads, so we're getting in position to really tighten this thing on. I think a couple of passes is fine. You can go through again. So here we're going to go through again. We'll go down the shiny 11-0. It's getting tight. I'm not even sure I can get down there. Just kind of wiggle your needle through that and the 15-0. Yeah, see, I'm notorious for breaking beads, so I have to pull my needle through. Maybe a size 12 beading needle at this point would work. I just want you to get it on nice and tight, and then go down through those beads again. So you're going down the crystal, the 15-0, the 11-0, the crystal. So reinforce it. We're reinforcing one more time, like so. Oh, I've got myself like a little wrap here, which isn't going to make a difference. I'm just going to leave it. But be careful of that, because it's not going to make a difference in the project. I just happen to get my thread caught. Okay, go up here. At this point, you can go through this. If you can get it through the 11-0, the 15-0, and the new beads you put on. Yeah, I definitely got a little thread caught there. These three in the center. 1, 2, 3. Go through this one. Go through wherever this one is coming out of. That. So we're going, just sort of snake your way around using the thread path. And then I would just go to the back of the project at this point, like so. And there you have it. You've got your loop on. Now I know you're supposed to make the excuse me, the tube first, but the tube we're going to make is going to fit this. So we're just making a 10-row tube. It's going to be 14 beads long. Okay, so now with this, to sew this in, come through the back, go down a bead. Oops. Don't take your whole clasp with you or your whole loop with you. Go through, whoops, through a bead, go through having a little trouble getting through some of my beads, just because I think, maybe switch to a 12 at this point. Alright, so I'm just going to skip that one. And I'm going to go, and at any rate, just go up, down, around, work your way through. I should have changed to a bigger needle. And see here, see this? This is where I got my thread caught. And I got it caught going into, see that? When I was doing the clasp. Now it didn't make a difference. It's going to make a difference, of course. This is not a bracelet, but it didn't make a difference in the instruction. But be very mindful of that, because because of the edges, they do tend to get caught. Okay, so again, learn from my mistakes. All right, because you're going to come up with a mistake and you're going to say, what am I going to do now? So if you just really watch for that. And if you catch it, I'm waiting for this to clear up. If you catch it, you can just pull. I just didn't catch it. Because those are very easy. When you get caught on something, it's very easy to, uncatch. So there's your ending. So this is the original, just to show you that the ending looks pretty much the same. The new one's a little bit longer. Here's the one that I made the video on, and I wasn't happy with the ending. As it was, this was difficult, with all these little beads to do it. So the ending, these are a little bit longer because my original tube did not fit through the loop. Okay, so now you've got the ending. What we're going to do is we've got our thread here. Okay, so I'm going back to the original bracelet. So let me move this out of the way. So here's our original, okay, that we finished. I've snaked my thread. It was coming out of here, my last one. I snaked it around into the center 11-0 that's sticking out there. Now hopefully we can do this. I think we can get the toggle on, without doing it on the blue one. Okay. So I've got a little peyote toggle, which I'm just going to go off camera for a second and cut the end. And I will have a small video up to show you how to do this. It's made with the 11-0s. So I'm going to get it in the end, I'm going to find something in the center. A piece a couple of beads that, you always go up diagonal. Oops. Come on. Oh, how much do we hate my camera? Let me see if I can. Okay. So you want to go up 2 beads as close to the center as you can. And that's going to attach it, because you've got your, you're using the thread from your piece. That's going to attach it to that bead. So take your toggle, go around the bead that you're coming out of, or you've attached it, and I want to get that clear. Okay, pull, and then your toggle is on. You want to pull tight, go down the next 2 beads, go through the crystal, and the 15-0s. You can even go through those 11-0s. I want to attach it to more than just that little 11-0 in the middle. So go, let's see, are we clear here? So we're coming out of the 11-0, go through the 15-0, go through the 11-0. Actually, don't go through the 11-0, go through the other side. It's so easy to do this on the other side. So here's my other side, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reinforce this on the other side. So I'm going to go up these 2. I'm going to go up this one and across, like so. I'm going to go back up let's see if I can get this in frame properly. Go back up the 2 of that diamond, back through the toggle. So just try Try to find those beads you went through, and if you don't, just go through, well, first go through this. Okay, go through these two. Now you're at the top again. Go through the beads on the toggle. You get it. Go, whoops. Go. I've gone a little too far with my beads, but you get the picture. So go through the toggle and just keep reinforcing it around this guy here until it's nice and tight. All right? Because I actually think I went a little too far. Let me see if I can back out. I will, so I can finish it with you properly. But if I can't, because this is, let me see. When you're doing this, this is not going to happen. Okay, I did back out. Okay, so I went through. So I'm just sewing it on, but I just want it to be attached to more than just that little bead. So go around again. I've got my tail in the way. Let me pull my tail down a little bit. All right, then go through a couple more beads. Okay, so just tie it off. And see, I got stuck, so I got that one, so I was able to pull it over. Okay, and then just at this point, I'm going to clip off because I'm not going to save this bracelet because I want to use the beads for something else, and I just wanted it done in this. So here we're going to pull it out. Okay, so this is the new bracelet. Okay, this is the old bracelet. Let's see how they look. Okay, we'll put this, you know, the one in the front is always going to look thicker because it, you know, it's just perspective. Okay, so there you go. There's the old bracelet. Here's the new. Okay, I'm going to see if I can, well, that's about as far as I go out at the moment. I'm going to go off camera and clasp it just because it's easier to do it off camera because I always hold a clasp against my body to clasp it. It doesn't matter whether the jewelry it's beaded or it's you know, some diamonds or whatever, you know, whatever the bracelet is. It just, you know, I'm just clumsy when it comes to clasps, so that's what I do. Okay, so here we go. Here's the bracelet. Here's the toggle. Mine is a little, actually it's actually perfect. It's the one I have is a little too tight as far as the, you know, the clasp. So here's the clasp. Here's where you put it in. Here's the back of the bracelet. Here's the front of the bracelet. So we've got some good light. If it twists, it even looks pretty like that. So there you have it. I hope that my sort of revision of this by, you know, adding this little piece on, because it was just impossible to do with the dark beads. And actually I'm liking this, so I might end up making a bracelet, making one with these turquoise, sort of turquoise, sparkly, they have a little silver in them, beads. So that's it. You've got your bracelet. So here's Moon Rocks, that's what we're going to call it. And it's a great netted project. Take your time. Take your time with this. You'll get this clasp. It will just be snaking around just so it fits, and it gives a nice uneven, sort of bumpy, even the top looks bumpy. Okay, so there you are. Viewer, I don't want to use your name because I didn't ask you, but here's your bracelet. Here's what you asked for, and I hope you make the bracelet, and I hope you really enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.